The GLF was an interesting organization. The first GLF meeting I remember going to was out in Pacific Beach at someone's home, and I was there early because I'm usually early to meetings. I try to find a place where I can sit in the back in the corner and observe other people because that's the type of thing I like to do. But as I remember, someone came down in a sheer flowered color like muumuu. It was just, I was going, oh, this is what it's going to be like. No, the GLF people were your basic activists, kind of a product of the 1960s, and what was at the time in San Diego, the anti-war movement, the movement against our involvement in the Vietnam War. There was no one after me. I was the last president of the GLF. We had decided to put all the effort into the Gay Information Center, and from that came the committee to form a community center. And politically, we held a couple of forums for candidates. That was in '72. But back then, the only political candidates that would come to us would be the very liberal Democrats or the out-and-out socialists. We had very little, that activity wasn't fruitful at that time. Well, the center became the ongoing activity. We wanted to put the Gay Information Center's phone number into the local telephone book, but at the time there were laws against sodomy and everything. I was involved in the planning of the marches from '74 through '78. I'm a printer. I was then a printer by trade. I printed the posters. I printed the flyers. I helped distribute them. I organized the parade committee, the monitors committee. Well, it was the first march we ever had, and I remember turning up with my clipboard, and the first thing that I hadn't anticipated was that there would be as many people as there were. I'd say nearly 300 people. We have the slides to show it. You can count the number of people. But there were some people who turned up with what would you call floats. You know, MCC had a big thing, collage with paper mache MCC, rather nice. And a women's group had a thing, and so a couple of people had cards they wanted in the parade. What I can tell you about Jessup was he had a way with people and a way to bring groups together and to bring different factions together and to calm people down. And he had a drive that bordered on obsessive compulsive. In fact, if you look up obsessive compulsive syndrome, they should have a sketch of his outline. You know, that's Jess. So, he was just full of energy. And I mean that in a very positive, meaningful, useful way. He had energy, and he wanted to get things done, and he was practical minded. I really respected him. He was a good friend. I was there with him just about to the end. I had seen him a few days before he died, and I was going to get him some soup or something that he had asked for. And when I came back, there were other people there, and he had apparently passed away the day before. Jess was a phenomenon. You know, you had to have known him. You really had to have seen this person in action. He was him and Bernie Michaels were the driving force behind the center, and Jess alone was the driving force behind the archives. because he wanted to have it all remembered. The person had unbounded drive and energy and the ability to smooth things out and to get a lot of people working together. It's like he was the engine of the community. He was the activist engine of the San Diego gay community. That's what I would call him.